This is Dr. Messino. Today we're going to be looking at SCP-294, Object Class Euclid, Special Containment Procedures. There are no standard special containment procedures on file for item SCP-294. However, only personnel of security clearance level 2 or higher are allowed to interact with it. See document SCP-294-A. SCP-294 is currently being stored in the second floor personnel break room and is monitored by 2 guards of all security clearance level 3 at all times. Description: Item SCP-294 appears to be a standard coffee vending machine, the only noticeable difference being an entry touchpad with buttons corresponding to an English QWERTY keyboard. Upon depositing 50 cents of U.S. currency into the coin slot, the user is prompted to enter the name of any liquid using the touchpad. Upon doing so, a standard 12-ounce paper drink cup is placed and the liquid indicated is poured. 97 initial test runs were performed, including requests for water, coffee, beer, soda, and non-consumable liquids such as sulfuric acid, wiper fluid, and motor oil, as well as substances that does not usually exist in liquid state such as nitrogen, iron, and glass. And each one returned a success. Test runs with solid materials such as diamonds have failed, however, as it appeared that SCP-294 can only deliver substances that can exist in liquid state. It is of note that at approximately 50 uses, the machine would not respond to further tests after a period of approximately 90 minutes. The machine seems to have restocked itself. It is also interesting to note that many caustic liquids that would have eaten through a normal paper cup seem to have no effects on the cup dispensed by the machine. Testing is ongoing. As suggested, SCP-294 was moved to the second floor personnel break room as a money-saving venture. Following incident SCP-294-01, guards were stationed at the item and a security clearance became necessary to interact with it. Document SCP-294-A. On August 21, 2005, Agent Joseph attempted to use item SCP-294 to obtain coffee during his allotted break time at 9:30 a.m. At this request of Agent to see what it would do, requested a cup of joe from the item. Moments after confirming the selection, Agent Joseph began to sweat profusely and complained of dizziness before collapsing. After moving the unconscious agent to the infirmary, the medical team recovered the contents of the cup dispensed by SCP-294. A combination of blood, tissue, and other bodily fluids. Testing revealed that DNA sequence of the biological material dispensed by SCP-294 matched that of Agent made a complete recovery after 4 weeks and rest and intravenous hydration. X-rays and CAT scans showed no further signs of injury and was released. Both agents were reprimanded. Additional security measures for SCP-294 have been recommended. Addendum: After reviewing documentation on SCP-294, suggested testing SCP-294's ability to retrieve specific liquids from a distance. Addendum SCP-294-H. With the overseeing of O5 data expunged, a cup of SCP-075 secretion was used as input. The product was proven to be the requested liquid and the cup was available to successfully contain the material. However, the report of incident 075-07 was acknowledged 2 hours after the test. See Addendum SCP-075-M. A containment procedure breach and occurred exactly at the same time that this test was taking place. Waking SCP-075 to its active stage, it was able to secrete an amount of basic solution equal to the capacity of a coffee cup. Before emergency containment, procedures were applied and it was rendered passive. The liquid was not found in a post-incident investigation. Addendum SCP-294-I. Researcher punched in request of a cup of gold. The machine dispensed a cup of molten gold. Researchers requested similar precious materials with the same result. Addendum SCP-294-J. Researchers punched in from a safe range request of a cup of anti-water. The machine hummed briefly and dispensed out of range on the entry pad. It is theorized that SCP-294 has a limited range of collection and cannot reach into alternate dimensions or universes. Addendum SCP-294-K. Researcher punched in request for diamond. SCP-294 briefly hummed and then displayed out of range on the entry pad. SCP-294 gives this result for all solid substance as diamond as a solid crystalline form of carbon. It appears the machine will not dispense liquid carbon, and this does not result in a diamond. When a cup of carbon was subsequently punched in, the machine dispensed a cup of liquid carbon. SCP-294 was immune to the damage effect of the dispensed liquid. Addendum SCP-294-M. Testing for range of SCP-294's capability for retrieval has been initiated. A unique compound has been formulated composed of undisclosed ratios of brand bleach, brand cola, MedRx powder, and guarma masala. The fluid was created and placed in the sealed container 25 meters away from SCP-294. When requested, the fluid was dispensed and equal amount of mixture was no longer present in the original container. Addendum SCP-294-0-001. Researcher under observation of Level 4 personnel keypad and a request of the best drink I've ever had. SCP-294 dispensed a fluid similar in appearance to a cola. The researcher identified it as a mixed drink he recalled having at a bar during his bachelor party, and he was convinced it was the best drink. Did not know what ingredients were in the drink besides rum and cola. Further tests is scheduled to ascertain how SCP-294 gathers information. Addendum SCP-294-0-01A. Under the same condition, Agent the best drink I've ever had. SCP-294 delivered a dark fluid topped with white foam, which was later identified as Viene Lager. The cup was printed with a color picture of 5 men and 2 women drinking beer on the beach. Was one of them. In his briefing, Agent confirmed that his favorite drink ever was a Viene Lager. He consumed it at the beach with his friends. It has now been confirmed that SCP-294 has the ability to directly gather information from someone's mind in order to comply with the given conditions. Addendum SCP-294-Q-01. Subject keyed the perfect drink. The machine dispensed a cup containing an odorless lavender liquid. After drinking the liquid, subject appeared to go into shock. Subject later committed suicide, leaving a note which read, "I'm sorry, but at this point everything's just one big letdown." Requesting such a drink again is highly discouraged. None of the components of the drink have been yet identified. Addendum SCP-294-T01. Subject keyed in something Cassie would like. The device was heard to hum for about 3 seconds before dispensing an empty cup. Printed on the side of the cup was an image of a traditional soda fountain glass filled with something brown and topped with whipped cream. Upon introduction to SCP-085, it was identified by her as a chocolate banana milkshake and judged delicious. Addendum SCP-294-W. Researcher keyed in request for a cup of music. SCP-294 produced a clear, sparkling fluid that tastes vaguely alcoholic. Following ingestion, subject reported feeling and not hearing a continuous rhythm and demonstrated the ability to move and even dance with a certain fluidity that he had not previously shown. Testing on other abstract concepts is continuing. Addendum SCP-294-AB. During a mass security breach, Agent requested a cup of prescient medical knowledge while taking shelter inside the second-floor break room. Of the 4 agents in the room, Agent was the only one who was not injured. SCP-294 poured out a cup of clear green liquid. Following the instigation of the subject, Agent began mending the other agent's wounds in a manner consistent with Foundation medical training. Agent no longer has the medical training that the liquid provided, and the other attempts to recreate the effect have failed. The agent has speculated that this event was an emergency measure taken by the object to ensure self-preservation. Addendum SCP-294-AC. Dr. requested my life story from SCP-294. SCP-294 made humming noises that shook violently for approximately 3 minutes before providing a highly viscous, opaque, black liquid. Upon consumption, Dr. reported that he remembered everything that had ever happened to him. Following this test, Dr. entered his office and returned 48 hours later with a 538-page autobiography. Addendum SCP-294-AD. Researcher provided requests consisting solely of the phrase, "surprised me." The device produced an opaque cup containing normal water, later determined to have been heated to approximately 200 degrees Celsius. Upon receiving vibration from transport, the contents of the water turned into steam, violently spraying boiling water in a 2-meter radius. Addendum SCP-294-AF. Researchers produced requests for the blood of Christ. SCP-294 vibrated and produced the message, then produced a paper drink cup containing approximately 0.12 liters of red grape wine. Addendum SCP-294. Researchers produced requests for a cup of blood, cup of passenger pigeon blood, and cup of Thomas Jefferson's blood, and received 3 out-of-range errors. Addendum SCP-294. A D class with an IQ of 99 and low curiosity scores was given written instructions about what to request. The D class personnel produced a request for blood of Canis lupus and received a cup of liquid subsequently identified as wolf blood. The D class personnel next produced a request for saliva of and received a cup of liquid subsequently identified as horse saliva. The D-Class personnel next produced a request of urine of and requested a cup of liquidly subsequently identified as koala urine. The D-Class personnel next produced a request for fluid and received a cup of liquid currently undergoing analysis. It is noted that when extinct during the late epoch, approximately 8 million years ago. Addendum SCP-294-AI. Dr. King produced requests for a cup of room temperature superconductor and received a cup of apple juice with the seeds floating in it. Addendum SCP-294-AJ. Dr. Minshew produced a request a cup of D151839's leukemia and received a cup of fluid. The fluid was microscopically examined and found to contain leukemia blast cells, which were genetic matched D151839's. A second request, a cup of D151839's leukemia, resulted in an out-of-range error. D151839 was subsequently found to be free of leukemia. However, within 15 days, the leukemia has reoccurred. Other SCP-294 experiments are currently awaiting approval. This is Dr. Messino. I hope you all enjoyed. And next time, think about what you get from the machine.